In the heart of the vast savanna, there lived a mighty lion. This was no ordinary lion. His name was Aslan, which meant king in his native tongue. And indeed, he was king over all the beasts in the savanna. His roar shook the earth, and his presence commanded respect from all who saw him. His fur was the color of burnt umber, his eyes shone like golden coins. He was strong, proud, and free. Aslan had everything a lion could ask for: a large pride of loyal lions, a mate who loved him dearly, and an abundance of prey animals to hunt. Yet despite all this, Aslan wasn't happy. He felt an emptiness inside of him that no amount of food or conquest could fill. One day, while walking through the tall grasses, he came across an old, wise baboon sitting on a rock. The baboon had seen many seasons come and go and knew the secrets of the savanna. Upon seeing the troubled look on Aslan's face, the baboon asked him what was troubling him so much. Aslan poured his heart out to the baboon, telling him about his restlessness and dissatisfaction with his life, no matter how much he had. The baboon listened patiently to the young lion's woes, and when Aslan was finished, he spoke in a voice that was deep and resonant like the sound of the drums. "My son," he said, "you are suffering from a lack of purpose. You have everything you need to be happy, yet you are not. This is because you have forgotten the teachings of your ancestors. They lived by a code that guided them through the challenges of their lives. It was a code of honor, courage, and loyalty that made them the rulers of the savanna." Aslan was intrigued. He had heard stories of his ancestors from the elders, but he never really understood their importance until now. The baboon continued, "Your ancestors were not like you, my son. They did not hunt for mere pleasure or conquest. They hunted because it was necessary to survive. They fought with honor and courage, and they never backed down from a challenge. They were loyal to their pride and would do anything to protect it." Aslan thought about what the baboon had said. He realized that he had strayed away from the teachings of his ancestors. He had become complacent and had forgotten what it meant to be a true lion. He was ashamed, but he was also determined to change. He wanted to find his purpose and become the kind of lion his ancestors had been. The baboon saw the determination in the young lion's eyes and smiled. "I am glad to hear that, my son, but you must understand that becoming a true lion is not easy. It requires hard work, dedication, and sacrifice. Are you willing to pay that price?" Aslan didn't hesitate. "I am, grandfather," he said. "I am willing to do whatever it takes to become a true lion." The baboon nodded. "Then I will teach you what you need to know. But I warn you, my son, the path ahead will be difficult. There will be times when you want to give up. But if you can stay true to yourself and never lose sight of your purpose, you will become the kind of lion your ancestors were." And so the baboon began to teach Aslan the ways of the lion, taught him about honor, courage, and loyalty, and he pushed him to become stronger both in body and mind. Every day Aslan would go out into the savanna and practice what he had learned. He would hunt, fight, and lead, always keeping in mind the lessons the baboon had taught him. Months turned into years, and Aslan grew into a magnificent lion. He was strong and brave, and his roar echoed across the savanna. One day, while practicing his hunting skills, Aslan came across a wounded zebra. The zebra was weak and scared, but Aslan didn't kill him. Instead, he took the zebra back to his pride and shared it with them. The lions were confused at first, but they followed Aslan's lead, and soon they too were eating the zebra. Aslan had remembered the words of the baboon and decided to share the food with his pride. It was a small gesture, but it made the other lions happy. They looked at Aslan with admiration and respect, and they knew that their leader wasn't just strong and brave, but also generous and kind. Word of Aslan's bravery and generosity spread throughout the savanna, and soon animals from all over came to see him. They told him stories of their own struggles and problems, and Aslan always listened patiently and offered help whenever he could. One day a delegation of elephants approached Aslan. They were led by the oldest and wisest elephant, a matriarch, who had seen many generations of elephants come and go. She spoke to Aslan in a voice that was deep and rumbling like the sound of thunder. "Aslan, we have heard stories of your bravery and generosity, and we have come to ask for your help. There is a rogue elephant in our herd, who has become a danger to us all. He is aggressive and unpredictable, and we are afraid he will cause harm to one of us. We have tried to reason with him, but nothing we say seems to get through to him. That is why we have come to you, Aslan, to ask if you would be willing to help us. Aslan knew that helping the elephants would not be easy. Ha 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 ha. The rogue elephant was huge and powerful, and even a pride of lions would have a hard time taking him down. But Aslan was not afraid. He remembered the lessons he had learned from the baboon, and he knew that he had to be brave and help those in need. He stood up and addressed the elephants with a voice that was loud and clear. I will help you, elephants. We may not be able to reason with the rogue elephant, but I am sure that with our combined strength, we will be able to stop him. And so Aslan gathered his pride, and together with the elephants, they set out to find the rogue elephant. They found him near a watering hole, drinking water and showing signs of aggression towards the other elephants. Aslan knew that this was his chance to prove himself. He let out a loud roar and charged towards the rogue elephant. The two elephants clashed in a cloud of dust, and the ground shook with the force of their impact. Aslan fought with honor and courage, just like the baboon had taught him. He was outnumbered, but he refused to give up. Finally, after a long and exhausting battle, Aslan managed to subdue the rogue elephant. The other elephants cheered, and the matriarch approached Aslan and touched his shoulder with her trunk. You have proven yourself to be a true lion, Aslan, she said. You are strong, brave, and honorable. We are truly grateful for your help. Aslan was happy to have helped the elephants, but he knew that it was not just their respect that he had earned, but also the respect of his pride. They had seen him fight, and they knew that he was worthy of their admiration. From that day on, Aslan was known throughout the savannah as the bravest and most honorable lion of all. He had found his purpose, and he knew that he was exactly where he was supposed to be. The old baboon watched from a distance as Aslan returned to his pride, a hero. The baboon smiled, knowing that the future of the savannah was in good hands. Aslan had learned the important lesson that life isn't about accumulating more possessions, but rather about living according to a higher code of ethics and values. He realized that true happiness comes from living a life of purpose and integrity, not from material wealth or power. Aslan ruled over the savannah alongside his mate, always remembering the teachings of the baboon and the importance of honor, courage, and loyalty. His pride thrived under his leadership, and the other animals respected and admired him. Aslan had finally found peace and happiness, something he had been searching for his entire life. But Aslan's story doesn't end here. In fact, it's just beginning. As the years passed, Aslan's legend grew, and the tales of his bravery and wisdom were passed down from one generation of animals to the next. And so the story of the lion who became king, not because of who he was, but because of what he believed in, continued to echo through the ages, inspiring others to be their best selves. This is the end, or is it? No, because now it's time to hear another story. The story of a wolf who dared to dream of being a lion. Stay tuned because this is going to be one wild ride.